Hello, hello, hello. Once again, this is Troy White. I'm with Hoodoo Financial. Today, I want to, I'm gonna read a quote to you, and then we're just gonna dive in and talk about this quote. This I like to say quotes, especially finance related quotes, and especially that are from someone whom I admire. Here's a quote. This is Malcolm X. The future belongs to those who prepare for it today. Malcolm X said that. All right, let's talk about that. So, uh, the future belongs to those who prepare for it today. So, first off, prepare. Let me parlay off that word. So, I plan. That's a lot of that's fundamentally what I'm doing with finances. I'm a financial planner, investment advisor, investment manager. That means we plan the stuff and then we act, we do it, right? So preparation fundamentally is about planning and taking some action. So, that's originally why I love the quote. So the future belongs to those who prepare for it today. All right. Uh, we say it starts with planning and it involves action. So planning for what? All right, well, planning for your success, basically, right? The future belongs to those who prepare for it today. Prepare for the future. All right, so, all right, you want to be successful in your future, I hope. Hopefully, only people who I'm talking to want to be successful. So, it's likely that if you're not one of them people, you're about to turn this off anyway. So, there it is. So, if you are planning for success, then you are going to have to take action to become successful. So, I'm going to ask you, are you planning to be successful? Ask yourself. Answer. Answer to yourself. Are you preparing to be successful? Are you planning to be successful? And, to do that, means that you have to identify what is success to you. So, as you see, when we plan for something, it requires us to dig into to embrace the topic, embrace the whatever it is we planning for. You have no choice but to dig into it a little bit deeper. So, uh, planning for success. All right, I made a couple notes, just the stuff I wanted to cover on this, or things that are important to this topic. So I'm just kind of going through that. So planning for success is something that if you want to be successful, you must plan to be successful. And just say a couple words on that. Everybody say they want to be successful, right? But too often we're lazy, or I'm saying we, I get lazy too, but we don't actually plan to do it. And I notice, or I believe, it's my opinion, that it's because you don't think you can do it. And if you actually sat down to plan for it, it's like you're gonna have to face that reality. You're gonna have to face yourself, and you're gonna have to tell yourself that, oh man, this too much heavy lifting. I ain't gonna be able to do it. And that alone, admitting that to yourself, we don't want to do that. You don't want to admit to yourself. You rather lie to yourself and say, yeah, one day I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna start that business one day. I'm gonna go to school one day. I'm gonna buy that house one day. I'm gonna fix that car one day. Well, you have to plan to do these things, and planning is well. let's talk about planning for a minute. Anytime that you are going to plan to succeed, you're going to go through a process that is fundamentally the same as financial planning. So what I'm saying is planning for anything is almost the same as financial planning. So you might as well do the financial planning too. So if I'm going to plan for something, what are the actions? What are the steps that I take? First off, you're going to have to evaluate your current situation. Where am I at right now? If I'm going to plan to go to New York, I need to know where I'm standing at right now. Where am I? So in order for me to know how many miles I gotta go, I need to know the destination, so that's the goal, and my location. That's my current status right there. So from a financial planning standpoint, in order for you to plan, you need to do that evaluation. First off, you identify the goal and identify where you at. So the second thing, so those are the first two. Identify where I'm at and identify where I want to go. The third thing you're going to do is create a timeline. So I know I'm in Oakland. I know I'm going to New York. So how long is it going to take me to get there? First off, actually, before I even figure out how long, I need to know when I want to be there, right? So I know my destination. Well, when do I want to get there to that? When do I want to arrive at that destination? So that's the timeline. And then we're going to devise a strategy on how to get there. So again, let me retouch the quote. The future belongs to those who prepare for it today. So now we're talking about planning. So preparing and planning. We had to, so making our preparation. First thing I did was evaluate where I'm at right now. Second thing I did was identify the goals that I'm preparing for. Third thing, identify the timeline that I'm preparing, right? What's the time horizon that I need to prepare for? When do we leave? And when are we supposed to be there? All right. Then I get the strategy together. Like, okay, so since I need to get to New York, then, I could drive to maybe Texas, and then I'm going to catch a train from Texas to, because I got to make a stop in Louisiana. And then from Louisiana, I ain't got nothing else to do. I could fly straight to New York. That's the strategy, right? So we need to come up with that. So then what we do after we come up with the strategy? Implement the strategy. Do it. When you come up with a plan, then do it. Implement the plan. And so I just gave you that little scenario. I'm going to drive part of the way. I'm going to catch a train part of the way. And then I'm going to fly the other way. All right. Well, that's the plan. I need to constantly reevaluate this plan too. Because using that example, I drove to Texas and then come to find out, that train ain't, they canceled the train. All right. That's reevaluating our plan. So, okay, our plan we need to make some adjustments to this plan. So we're going to make the adjustments, and then we're going to take the actions. And as we take those actions, we're going to reevaluate. Did that get me to New York, or did it only get me part of the way? If it only got me part of the way, I'm going to reevaluate. How do I get to the rest of the way towards my goal? So that's the fundamental planning process. And it don't matter what you're planning for. That's fundamentally what you're going to have to do. And that is the financial planning process. But back to the quote, the future belongs to those who prepare for it today. So I'm going to touch on this too, because we talking about, I touched on that key word, prepare. So we talked about planning is how we prepare. Well, there's another key word that I just heard myself say, and that's future. The future belongs to those who prepare for it today. So our future, in this future of this economy, I talk about finance. we have changes that are occurring. There is a changing economy, a changing economic environment, changing economic tools, economic conditions, and we need to plan and react to these changes. The future belongs to those who prepare for it today. It's a quote by Malcolm X. So we're going to prepare for the future, but we need to understand the future that we are preparing for. We're not preparing for the past, we're preparing for the future. Now, in investing, there's a statement that we say is past performance is no predictor of future. The past is no predictor of future performance. So what that's saying is basically just because that stock did good last year don't mean it's going to do good this year. And that is true in this quote. The future belongs to those who prepare for it today. Because we're talking about the future. The future that from Malcolm X's perspective, the future is completely different than he could have imagined. And your future is going to be completely different than you can imagine. So, this is partially just my opinion right here, is that you need to be prepared for a future that you can't even yet see, or you can't identify how it's going to be. So, how do I do that? Well, first of all, or I'll keep saying first of all, there's a lot, first, second, third, whatever. One other point that I would like to make is, what is the future? The future is actually a collection, a chain of right now. So the future is a chain of successive right now. So the future 1 second from now is right now again, right? And so then that second is right now, and then that second is right now, right now. So the future, this future over here is right now, right now, right now, right now, right now. That's the future that we was preparing for. Right now, right now, right now, right now. Future, right? So the future there is no future. There is never a future. You can't prove to me that there is a future. Now we're getting in physics, right? But you can't even prove that a future is there, because right now is everything. Right now. So we only know that we got memories of the past. So I'm just going to go off of that. So I conclude that my actions now will improve my circumstance later in this thing that I know of called future, right? The future. So what you do right now is the only thing that counts. So the future is actually right now. So let's go back to what Malcolm said. The future belongs to those who prepare for it today. So if the future is a chain of consecutive right nows, then you are preparing for your future by what you are doing right now. So every time you wasting time, every time you doing something that is not productive or going to positively impact your future, then you doing the opposite of what Malcolm said. The future belongs to those who prepare for it today. So if you're not preparing for your future today, then it just don't belong to you. I'll take it. That's mine. Give me that. That's what's happening. That's what's going to happen. See, if you don't try to make some money, so somebody standing behind you that you don't know is like, okay, I'll take that money out your pocket. Get here. Give me the money. Right? So if if you don't care about your future, if you don't prepare for your future, there is a future being prepared for you. And so you are going to be a victim of someone else's what you're going to be a figment of what someone else imagined for you. All right, let's go. Let's keep going. So this whole quote also implies that you believe that there is something great or good or positive in your future at all. That there is something that can be good for your future. And so I'm asking you, do you feel that a good future or a great future is possible for you? Is it possible? Well, first you got to answer that, right? So if you feel that it is possible for you to have a good future, then it's your responsibility, your requirement to plan for it today. Because he who fails to plan plans to fail. If you're not proactively doing something to make a positive impact on yourself and your family and your community and those who you love, then you're planning for failure for all of those people. If you ain't doing something, then you're doing less than nothing. That's basically what that's saying, what I'm saying. And so, back to the quote, the future belongs to those who prepare for it today. So prepare, make plans, man. And I'm a financial planner, and that's what I do. So, I know that everything that you want in this world has a dollar figure attached to it. Anything and everything. Money money ain't everything. I ain't said it was everything, but everything you want to do requires money. This is a fact. This is the fact of it, man. And so, the future belongs to those who prepare for it today. So prepare by planning your financial life. Plan your finances to be successful. Part of success is economic success, is accumulation of assets. That doesn't happen by you not planning. That doesn't happen by you not going out and getting it. Hey, do you respect Brother Malcolm or not? The future belongs to those who prepare for it today. Why don't you go out and prepare for your future? This is just some thoughts I have for you. Holla back.